sure that my Bluetooth is not on this one. Oh, okay, good to go. Okay. Oh, the host would like me to unmute. Okay. All right, let me make sure that I'm in all my little spots over here. Okay, cool. Here we go, guys. Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna reclaim my host over here, but thank you so much as always, Saraswati. Just make sure that nobody is on mute here. And then, hey, I was wondering, I think the Zoom recording is like kind of shit no matter what, but I was wondering if I should stream, because I know we use these recordings, the YouTube ones for most of the clips. I can stream it vertically next time if that's what we're taking. If you think the video quality would be better for shorts, if I had it upright as opposed to horizontal and having to zoom in. We can always try it, but I know we get a lot of views on YouTube. So for today, we'll leave it, but we'll ask Pierre for next week. So hi, everybody. It is Safehouse Q&A. I have unintentionally bombarded my husband with work right now. I've got a Whole Foods delivery. We brought a kid over for playtime with Wiley, and he's got all the kids plus one and a grocery delivery right now. So everybody say thank you to Magic, who in no way deserved me sabotaging his workout with the gay country song, the I'm Not Gay country song that was trending on a bunch of reels. Slap his ass. I made that his entire cue. I added it to a bunch of his playlists randomly. And then anytime he changed it, we share Spotify, so I have the controls from over here. Anytime he tried to change the song, I would change it back. And he called me, and I just refused to acknowledge that I had anything to do with it. And that's how I spent my morning. And then I went on a big old hike with my daughters, because I got 2 of them. And now here we are. Okay, I'm looking for a Q&A, and let me find exactly where I've left off. I'm going to get right into it today so that I don't leave my husband. I'm going to give my husband the courtesy of not getting long-winded about something and then making us be here for much longer. All right, where am I here? What day is it? Here we are. All right, where can I find a picture of the Wheels Teacher Training live call schedule? Any information you want about any of my workshops ever? Oh, let me just do this. I know someone already answered to her, but any information you need about any of my workshops ever can be found on the workshop page. So there's no trust required on every single page of every single workshop all over my website. You can go there and find out more information about the workshop as well as the lead magnet for it and anything else that you might need. It's right there. Good job, everybody. Hi, who do I have over here? Okay, cool, everybody. If you have a question, it needs to go in the chat because I'm not watching the Q&A chat on here like ever. But next year we won't have a Q&A chat. And what you can do is just show up live and I'll answer any questions here. Okay, let's see. I'm working on building back up to being more consistent. She's a generator. Feel it would serve my business. I'm wondering, have you seen consistency with things like podcast releases, email newsletters, serve your life and business? Okay, so let's start with that first question. I have seen consistency serve me in every area of life, but one thing I don't do consistency with is newsletters. I write when I'm inspired about it, and when I make it an assignment, I feel like the quality goes down. I need to write when I'm inspired. I write to process things. So when I'm working on something mentally, for me to get past it, I need to write it in the moment, and that doesn't always align with the schedule. But I'd rather have really good content than really consistent content. So that's kind of my rule. Is that my husband?
Don't pay any attention to me.
Wait. I'm going right into Q&A. I didn't mean to overload you with work. I just realized we have a grocery delivery and children and all this shit. Sorry. And I ruined your workout. I ruined my workout, but I figured, they say guys work out harder when they're erotically charged. So I figured if I played you some man-on-man music that you'd...
Gay country.
Some gay country.
Thanks.
That you'd serve some cunt around here for once.
Your intuition today is just
Well, you know, I'm a prophet. So.
Good thing you're answering everyone's questions on
Yeah.
Q&A.
Yeah, because I'm just working really hard.
Psych.
Yeah, it feels good to be a worker. You know what I mean?
Are you still talking to me?
Am I? I don't know. Is it a lesson for the whole class? But you know what, Dad, speaking of erotic wealth, I feel like so many people didn't finish erotic wealth because we called out an elephant in the room and they got stuck there for a really long time. But our elephant in the room was, what does your husband do in this relationship? And people were calling it out all the time in the comments. What does your husband do? And you weren't filming me at the time. So I was basically like in selfie mode in the business all the time. This is me. This is what I do. I'm happily married. I promise. So it took us a while to face the elephant in the room. And then once we really cleared that and started working equally in the business, that was when all of the other disturbances in our marriage simmered down and things started making a lot more sense. Would you agree with that? So having been here before and having been stalled at the elephant in the room before, what boundaries are we going to need? You don't have to answer this right now, but it's something that we need to be asking ourselves. What boundaries do we need for future people that will get stalled at the elephant in the room? And what compassion can we offer them when they do get stalled for elephant in the room?
Probably a period of time to be there, but
Yeah.
a sort of time limit.
Yeah, we can let people know that that's going to be happening. We can insist that the workshop is not available a la carte. You pay month to month, but if you realize you're stalled, you need to leave and then come back and resume. But I'm not answering any questions in the interim or anything like that. But also, I feel like there's a lot of value in not getting stalled at the elephant in the room. I'm just accepting, okay, this is where we're going to need to work. I feel like there's something there about just show the fuck up every single week. We're going to call out the elephant in the room. You're going to be whining, and so there's going to be pouring salt on a slug. You don't want to hear it. You're going to be resistant to it. You're going to fucking show up anyway. So Swati and Pure, what do you think about that? Go ahead and take yourself off and mute. Is there something in there about like, we're going to call out the elephant in the room, but just show the fuck up anyway? Do you think that powering through is even available? Do you think that powering through was even available for us?
At the time when I wasn't doing anything?
Yeah, do you think we could have just been like, shut the fuck up. You don't want to have to tear your kneecap to learn this lesson. Write down what you guys are doing and we're going to start working tomorrow.
Are you in or are you out? It's just, are you in or
are you in or are you out is lesson one. That's the first thing. It's going to get uncomfortable. Are you in or out? If you're in, this is what it's going to take to change the oil on the relationship. Two, I think we're going to have to go in for zone of genius on them and just be like, look, we gotta balance the workload. We got to we're going to call it out. You're going to be upset, and we got to do zone of genius in the relationship, and we got to do zone of genius in the business, because in the relationship, there were things that were really unfair that we called out before. We're like, wow, sounds like one person is having a polyamorous relationship here. Mm-hmm. Might be coming from religious conditioning. We might want to look at it, and they're like, I quit. And it's like, well, it's a thing. We had another person drop off it like, that business plan is not viable, and your husband doesn't want to tell you it because he doesn't want to crush your dream, but that business plan fucking sucks and everybody knows it. And as long as you have a business plan, you're not bothering him. So that's why he's not telling you that it sucks. But we're going to tell you that it sucks. And they're like, but do you think do you think that people could be powered through and not get stalled there if we just clearly labeled it? Do you think that's available?
I definitely do.
I do too.
Because it's usually when I'm left to my own devices that stalling can happen.
Believe me, my love, I know.
Forewarned. As much as she may know, if I'm forewarned, then I can know that done is better than perfect.
Yes, exactly. Done is better than perfect because it's an Enneagram with many turns. I see Sarah Watsy's face lighting up, so I know she's on board with push him through the door. But Sarah Swatsy always has really good insights on this. What do you think about powering them through?
I think it's necessary because there's always going to be resistance that comes up. Even after this, like any couple is done with erotic wealth, that feeling will come up again. So then what do you do with it? Are you actually just going to sit for months and months and not change something in your relationship?
They just stay stuck there.
They need to learn.
Yeah, no one has gone around it on their own. They just stay stuck there, and we see them stuck there for a really long time. It sucks to be stuck there. But anytime we call out the Enneagram on a process and say, it's gonna get hard here and you're gonna want to quit. And I'm telling you from the very fucking beginning, when it does get hard, not only do they recognize it and move forward, but our authority on the topic shines.
Yeah.
And to be able to hit that at point 2, it's really great to be able to talk this quad of us.
Less time to think, just more action.
That's
more
right.
action.
That's right. Because you don't want to get in the head about it. But that the authority really shines, because when it gets hard and they knew it was going to get hard and now they're expecting it, they trust in our guidance, they trust in our map, and they will get through it. But too many people are stalled up, or too many people are stalled up there. And what we'll do is we'll just make it flat out, like, this is what it's going to cost to do something like this. And there's not wiggle room on it. You either complete it or you don't, but you're going to pay for it, because the initial work with people is the hardest. Okay, cool. Glad we talked. I'm so excited about this. I got to remember to write Zone of Genius down. Do me a favor, send me a text message, Saraswati. We have a big canvas downstairs with what we're doing in Erotic Wealth for this round. So just please send me add Zone of Genius to point 2. This is how things get done around here, you guys. This is how things get done around here. Everybody's got an elephant in the room and they don't want to look at it and they don't want to talk about it. And it is exactly what you have to look at. And it is exactly what you need to talk about. What are these things? Okay, Stella, I added there. Okay, great. I'm feeling the resistance from an old story of not being reliable and having the space. Okay, after leaving a DV relationship. So with question 2, you've solved 95% of the problem. If you can label the problem, I'm feeling resistance from an old story. So just looking at that right there, we can say, okay, that was then, old story. This is now. I'm feeling resistance. What's my resistance made of? Resistance is almost always jealousy. So let's see. I'll go deeper on this. Feeling resistance from an old story of not being reliable, having the space after leaving a DV relationship and my life imploding, which is behind me. I have years under my belt of weekly podcasting, so I have that experience, but a hard time accessing that. A story, I'll get bored. I would love your advice getting over that. So this is it's very hard for me to find the question in this, but here's what I can tell you. Resistance, when we have resistance to something, it's almost always coming from jealousy. So if you're very busy now with podcasting and everything like that, there was a time where you were emotionally decimated and couldn't be consistent with all these things and couldn't show up for all these things. And maybe you miss what it looked like to be able to do that. Now, it's not choosing, am I in rest mode or am I in work mode? It can be both. I feature both all day long. Rest completely when it's rest time. Work completely when it's work time. Study completely when it's study time. And again, just keep focusing on these 3 states of time: active, passive, and neutral. Saraswati, this is initials MM, the 1-3 generator on Q&A. Hit her a link with the ritual lesson where we talked about active, passive, and neutral time. It's got to be a clear question. If it's not a clear question, I can't provide a clear answer. So just do me a favor. If you need more information on that, give me a question. A question is a sentence that ends in a question mark, and I can help you the best in that way. Wonderful. Okay, next question. I have a question about chakra work and trauma. I have one specific issue I'm working it with, and that is my insecurity. Okay, so if you're working insecurity, that's coming from the Vishuddha chakra, and you will get there eventually. Trauma never exists in the place that you think it should exist. So when you get to the Vishuddha chakra, in order, you're not allowed to skip there right now. When you get to the Vishuddha chakra, you'll be well primed to work it, and you will trace that feeling, and you will trust whatever comes up. You don't need to process specific memories. You'll just work with whatever comes up when you get there. So advice for you, cross that bridge when you get to it. We are going there. Trust me. Don't worry. Today we're going to go to the nerd. So you guys, I got to tell you a little bit. I am revamping quite a bit of my life right now. This always happens at the end of winter because winters here are like 6 months long, and in New Mexico we also had 6-month winters, but I get really used to being indoors all the time, and then the weather hits and I'm like, I just want to be outdoors literally all day, every day. And that means that I don't want to be on my computer at all. So this is really where we kind of assess our life. What do we want to do? What do we want to get out of life? And how do we make space for that while continuing to grow the business? And I'm just excited of everything that's been coming into place. But we're going to the plant nursery today to get some starts for our garden. And I'm just so excited. Oh, I was so excited to answer this question. Literally every question this person asks me, every question you ask me, I'm so excited to answer. But I saw this one and I almost answered it on Monday. And I was like, I'm going to wait and do this live because it's a Enneagram question. So question says, I'm watching School of Unified Spiritual Laws. Delicious. Love that for you. I'm wondering if you can help me understand why shock 2 is at 6 when really it's at 8. Now, you have the context of this confused, or maybe I said it unclearly. School of Unified Spiritual Laws is 2019, so that was then, this is now. But there are 3 shocks. There are 3 shocks, and the 3 shocks happen at the triangle points of the Enneagram. Now, there is an exception to this rule, but shock 1 is at 0.3. Shock 2 is at 0.6. It's not really at 0.8. Shock 2 is at 0.6. Shock 3 comes at 0.8. But anytime we're getting near a triangle point, like we would say, wait, shouldn't it be 3, 6, 9? So here's what happens. Shock points are always contained in between the notes mi and fa and the notes si and do. So but on the Enneagram shows how all the 3 laws work together. So the law of octaves is not sufficient. The law of octaves is not sufficient to be able to actually create. We need the law of 7, the law of octaves, which is depicted by the line of supervision here. We need the law of 3, which is depicted by the triangle, and we need the law of time as well. All 3 of these work together. So on the Enneagram, all triangle points are the note do. So for the first octave, the first thing that you create, and the Enneagram is telling you to create one thing is to create 3 things. There's always side quests that are going to need to come up. There's always side quests that are going to be in play here. So here's what we do. We start our first project at the note do at 0.0 right up here on the Enneagram. We go do, re, mi, and then in between mi and fa, a shock point. So in between mi and fa, which is 0.2 and 0.3 on the Enneagram, we get our second do. Our second do represents the second shock. So now, even though our original project is now going to go from mi to fa, to so, to la, we now have a second octave going. So our second octave starts its journey of do at 0.3. So now do, re at 0.4, mi at 0.5. Now in between mi and fa at 0.5 and 6, we get the next shock. So that's going to be the first shock for the second octave, and it's going to be the second shock for the first octave. This will be hard for you to process if you're not looking at an Enneagram while we do it. So now the second octave, the second task, the side quest that began at 0.3 is hitting its first shock when we are at 0.6. So this second shock is truly only related to the side quest that we have begun at 0.3. Now, as we continue with the original octave, we are going to hit the final shock, which is in between the notes si and do. That is where 0.8 is. In between the notes si and do will meet our final shock. Now, If we were just running on the law of octaves, if it was possible to only create one thing at a time and not have to do side octaves, then we would only have 2 shocks. We would have a shock in between mi and fa, but this wouldn't be on an Enneagram, because an Enneagram is how 3 work together. It's above. If we were working with just one process at a time, we would have 2 shocks in between mi and fa and in between si and do. So that is why on the Enneagram, we are working with 3 shocks, and the shocks arrive at 3, 6, and 9, but also 8. It's not 4 shocks because at this point, by the time we get to the returning do, it's starting a new octave. So we wouldn't count it. That new octave at 0.9, 0.0 and 0.9 are the same. That new octave is starting a new project. So we would count that shock in the next cycle of the Enneagram. But as an Enneagram moves and these 3 laws work together, we're going to catch a shock at do. This is the originating shock, 0. We're going to catch a shock at, so the originating do doesn't count as a shock, We catch our first shock at 0.3, our second shock at 0.6, and our final shock at 0.8 before starting again. Thank you for this question. I love this question, and I love that it's going to go whoo for a lot of people, but for the person that this is for, they're like, oh my God, yes, thank you, I get it, I compute. So when I have a question like this, before I lose it, I have to go transfer this voice. I have to go transfer this voice note so that I do not lose it. So this is what I do. You guys are just going to bear with me right here because I refuse to lose that 5-minute explanation. I am a generator. Therefore, I cannot stand repeating myself. So she said that this was in School of Unified Spiritual Laws. I'm going to go over there right now. I know that that this has to come from the lesson, the Law of Octaves. And so I'm going to immediately find this. The Law of Octaves, the Hero's Journey. I'm going to add an FAQ here. And that way I do not have to worry about other people being stuck here again. And oh my God, so cute, because all of this School of Unified Spiritual Laws was, I believe, when I'm pregnant with Wiley. And I think that that's so sweet. So now, because I took my time deciding what service I would use to have this person. Okay, perfect. Because I decided to take my time deciding what I needed out of an app builder. And I took my time waiting for the platform because I knew that the relationship with the platform was going to be divine. I was able to just go and update my app so quickly in the moment without paying somebody, without wasting anything. And we got that done, and we've stored that question forever. And I'm so proud of myself. And here we are. Hi, Mommy. I'm working through the teacher training and I'm having difficulty sleeping well. Do you have recommendations for how to shift in a better sleeping direction while going through the work and the teacher training? So, oh, God damn it, my app just disconnected my microphone, and now I have to go back and do this again. So because Saraswati will just, I'm gonna have you summarize this for her. Can you do it right now, just so I don't? Oh wait, actually, I'm back faster than I expected to be. Patience, Onami. I should have gotten fucking patience tattooed on my head, but honestly, I was told gentleness was the answer for all things. But I should have tattooed it on my hand and not my head because I never see my head. So, and Magic has pray tattooed on his face. I should have tattooed gentleness on his head and pray on my face so that we'd be able to at least get the message consistently. But so Wheels Reinvented is a psychological thing. We don't really work with anything in the physical. And in our experience, any physical manifestations that have come up during this work have been coincidental, but it's not caused by, we're working the psychological. In general, if you have a hard time sleeping, get more exercise in the day, shut off your screens 2 hours before bedtime, and that's what we have. That's what we have over here. Sorry if I'm all snotty for you guys. Fluids have begun here today. I was so sick this week, but you know what? I'm so stoked because I'm having our portrait painted next week. And I've been just like sick as a dog all week, but my face is so much slimmer. And if I'm spending fucking thousands of dollars to have this documented, because I wanted to wait until I was further postpartum, so my baby looked a little bit more like herself, so all my fucking kids look the same, sound the same. But I was like, I just, you know, it's hard to paint a face. When I gain and lose weight, it's like always in the face. And so, you know, I get my little chins and stuff like that. It's cute. I work with it. But I was like, how much post-production can we do on this? It's like if we're bumping this up in the queue. But because of the timing of things, I'm getting such a great deal on this commission. I'm so fucking stoked. Hi, Mommy. Is the universe trying to tell me something when everyone I care about forgets to text me back at the same time? The universe is only trying to tell you one thing. And so you have to decide. The universe is only ever trying to tell you one thing. I am a friendly universe or I am a hostile universe. So what is it? Do you believe in a friendly universe or a hostile universe? Because everything is a sign of one or the other. Of one or the other. So sorry that everybody stops texting you at one time. I don't know why, but all of my manifestor friends always text me at the same time. And like, I can't not respond to a manifestor because it's like in my design. And so I'm just like bouncing back and forth between these text threads like Miss Clavel and Madeline. Something is not right, something is not right. And it doesn't matter what I'm doing. It always happens at like bedtime for the kids when my manifestors in Pacific Standard Time all decide that it's like time to text me. Not even you, Saraswati, because we're in regular correspondence. But I have a lot of manifestor friends in LA, and they always get this fucking wild hair up their ass at the same time and start hitting me up at like 11 o'clock my time. I'd be texting with these hoes until like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't stop responding to a manifestor. But then I'm on ice with them for like another like three months. It's like, wait, why don't you guys care about me? And they do. They're just manifestors. Every manifestor texts like a guy that's not into you. Where you're like, what? Like, why? I just don't care. My sister's a manifestor. But you're just, they're busy, you know, directing the world. They're busy directing the world. So they don't have time to, you know, they're not here to respond to our precious timing. Plus, if they were here to respond to our precious timing, then they never do what they needed to do because they never stop initiating with us because we never stop responding to them. You know, just be a mess. So we're all built the exact way that we need to be built. Oh, wow, it's May, isn't it? Whoops. Okay, let's go to my next question here. Why the fuck am I all the way in April over here, you guys? Oh. Don't mind me. I'm just up in my chat threads over here and I found an old picture of Taiga. Okay. Oh, I had missed a question over here. Very happy to be back here then. Do you have an ongoing pattern of resetting your erotic charge? And what does it look like for you now? So we have an erotic life now, thanks to Erotic Wealth and doing a lot of work. So it does actually reset itself. It doesn't take a lot of effort on our part. And that is because instead of, you know, saying, okay, we have a special room just for sex, or we schedule sex and have it at this special time, we improved every single area of our life so that now our whole life is erotic. And what this means is that it feeds itself. There's a nice thing about doing sex magic on an Enneagram and following a formula is that everything on an Enneagram is self-sustaining, it's self-feeding. It goes from one cycle into the next over and over and over again. And so it now feeds itself. And I'm very happy about that because, you know, if you guys haven't heard, I'm very like anti-scheduling sex. That'll be a good short Pierre, I think. Oh my God, I have to open my windows because I'm getting snottier and snottier up here. It's like a fucking yoga class. Wait. How do I do this? This is not funny. I'm so bad at doing this. I need my husband to open this window for me because I can't do it. Oh, there we go. Whew. Oh my God. Thank the fucking gods about that. I got hella hose. I got hose. Is active, passive, and neutral time a fourth way concept? Fuck me, where did this go? Is active, passive, and neutral time a fourth way concept, or where does it come from? So the law of three is related to the fourth way, but it's also anytime you see a triangle anywhere. So Star of David, the Kabbalion, any of these like alchemical symbols, even pyramids, it's talking about the concept of the Holy Trinity. It's always talking about the law of three, and law of three is active, passive, and neutral. So where active, passive, and neutral time came from, this is what I do as a teacher. I learn, I get the bandwidth, and then I extend it into new areas, and that's what all of us are here to do as teachers. I fuck with teachers so hard. But active, passive, I took the principles of active, passive, and neutral, and I applied it to time. I didn't replace it with anything. I just said, okay, active, passive, and neutral. What is active time? If everything has an active, passive, and neutral state, how does that apply to love? How does that apply to sex? How does that apply to time? How does that apply to money? And now you see this carried through in everything that I do. So I teach active, passive, and neutral income. And erotic wealth, we're going to teach active, passive, and neutral sex. And I'm so excited about that. Saraswati, please text me active, passive, and neutral sex, because I do not want to forget this in this round. Oh, so exciting. Oh, I'm so excited. That was a piece that I needed. Everybody in teacher training knows I've never, oh my God, everyone that was just at the teacher training conversation on Monday knows that, like, this is what I'm fucking about here. I have to text it to myself. You always tell yourself the neat things you need to hear. Thank you, Saraswati. I wasn't sure if you were there, but don't worry, you don't have to be in the chair to be there. This is how my kids deal with me all the time. Okay. Got her, got her, got her, got her, got her. She likes my song. Okay. Hi, Mommy. Okay, got you. Hey, Anami, do you go through fuck lists, both internal and business side, every time you relaunch a course? And do you rewrite a lot because of it? No, good question, but I absolutely do not. Saraswati, this is a good one for FAQ. Fuck list internal side, I've only done the one time. Didn't need to do it more than that. Fuck list external, I have only learned the process one time, but then I extended that process to every fucking product in my catalog. And then the lead magnets always get a little tweak. They get a tweak if we've changed the value stack, if we've added to the value stack, if we have need to change a date or something on it. But it's usually at this point just dates that get changed on it. And then there's a few, sometimes I'll rewrite one email in the whole sequence, but usually not more than one. Cool. Next question. Asking because it's relevant to my chakra work, how do you get over someone who rejected you? So there's no rejection, there's just options you didn't know you didn't want. But if somebody rejected you, you're feeling unfinished business. You wrote a story of what you thought it might look like to be with them, and who you would be, and what you would have, and who they would be, and what they would give to you. And it's this story that's causing pain. This is what a lot of people don't realize about grief, especially when people have abortions. When you found out you were pregnant, your brain went in two directions. What if I kept the baby? What if I got rid of the baby? And it doesn't matter how, if you are 99%, I'm going to get rid of this baby, and 1% I'm going to keep the baby, it doesn't matter. That story creates a world. When that world doesn't come through, the conflicting emotions that you feel as a result is grief. I'm so happy I did this, but I wonder what they would have looked like. It was a really bad time for me. I'm super happy with my choices, but sometimes I'm just curious, would he and I have stayed together? Sometimes I wonder what my life would be like if I did have it. That's grief. And a lot of people just accept that this is the conflict that they're going to be stuck with for life. He rejected me. Am I worth it? I'm not worth it. I hate him. I love him. I wish we were together. I know that he probably wasn't right for me. And yada, yada, yada. Conflict of emotions is grief. Grief is not crying after somebody died. Grief does not have 5 stages. The 5 stages of grief from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross were related to terminal illness, coming to peace with terminal illness. Things like bargaining and denial, that's terminal illness. It's not grief. Super useful stuff, but you want to use a hammer for nails, you want to use a paintbrush for paint. You don't use a hammer to paint a house, do you? No. So we need to use these tools for what they're for. A conflict of emotions is grief. The quickest way to process grief is with my free worksheet Painkiller, which you can get on video on YouTube for free, a PDF page to download for free, audio meditation on Spotify for free, or for $9, you can get 55 printed sheets of it, which is more than enough for you and all of your friends. Go do that on this person that rejected you. Do this on the baby that you lost, however they lost. It doesn't matter how old it was. Do it. Always free, mommyandmommy.com/painkiller. Address it to the person, address it to the baby, and I support you. I think that that's another good short pure. The quicker that I am with answering questions, the easier it is to make shorts and the more content we have. I'm about it. Mommy, you're the shit. I learned so much from you. Thank you for being a motherfucking baddie. Thank you. Joining Safehouse so I can soak up all you got. Yeah, you know what's a good thing to do? If you're, it's okay to sit and shop around for Safehouse for a while, but we start our school year in January, and so the courses get more advanced the deeper into the year that we go. So the workshops that are going to be coming out, basically from this point on, you can come in at any point, but they get more advanced as the year goes on. We close with the Enneagram, which is not something that I encourage people to take if they haven't familiarized themselves with the other workshops. They just don't get it. You have to be initiated. So Saraswati, let's clip this video and we can use it to respond to that TikTok question. Somebody asked me on TikTok, would going through one of your workshops be getting initiated? So initiation, textbook initiation, it's not fucking drinking your period blood, because I tried that and I didn't get initiated for shit. This whole branding of like the initiated woman is not, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, quite truthfully. It's like sidereal astronomy. I'm like, okay, whatever. Astronomy I said on purpose, not astrology. Astrology is archetypes. Astronomy is studying the stars. Archetypes don't move, stars do. Here's what we're looking at. Each one of my courses is an Enneagram and is initiation into whatever field you're wanting to study there. But true initiation is leaving the esoteric, is leaving the exoteric and going to the mesoteric. And we do this in one workshop only. That is Mesoterica, which is launching next. You do Mesoterica, you are initiated into second level teachings. That is true initiation. In my opinion, that is the only initiation. That is the only place the word initiation should even be used. And that is an objective initiation based on the aggregated laws and ascension, not ascension like rapture, psychological advancing. Based on the aggregated laws and templates that all other systems and schools share. We take out the religion and just focus on what they all share. That is a 10-step process. You're like, so when I get to the end, I can tell people I'm enlightened. When you get to the end, I'm going to tell you that the transition 2 years of your life has officially begun. That you can descend at any point to keep your fucking eyes open, because leaving duality, if you look cute when you left duality, you didn't leave duality. But that is the only place where we offer initiation in that way. I can teach you money. I can teach you sales funnels. I can teach you childhood trauma. You could say I've been initiated into these things, but that's not true initiation. True initiation is leaving the exoteric and entering the mesoteric. And that workshop is fucking dope. And there was only one other teacher, the teacher that taught me, that was teaching it. in this simple step-by-step way, which I then simplified and made even more step-by-step. And he died. And he just died recently. He wants to be known as the man from Texas. So, sorry, guys. Okay, next question. Wondering about the onboarding, if I'm supposed to receive a message or something. Yes, absolutely. We'll go bring this lady, literally take her by the hand and bring her to onboarding. I don't know if we had a glitch where we weren't getting messages or something like that, but my husband might have just missed you. We got like 60 new customers in, so my husband was onboarding a lot. But yes, absolutely, and you were very right to come over here and check in with us, and thank you. So we'll literally, 4-6 generator will literally just take her by the hand and bring her over to onboarding. And great. What would you say to someone fixated on their boss being gross and sexist? Thank you. You obviously have an erotic fantasy here that you are not able to look away from. Because if you were truly disgusted by it, you would leave. But there's something fascinating about it to you. You have every right to reject this message, but the more you reject it, the more into it you are. And if you want something to read in the meantime, you can do the Complete Guide to Sexual Magic. You can also look into the book Existential Kink. We teach, I think, maybe one facet of existential kink works its way into erotic wealth. It's very different work, but that's a very good book. Also read by the author on audiobook. Like, oh my God, he's going to come in here right now and make a disgusting comment about my tits. Yeah, sorry. Do I like the Distillers? This is, I mean, maybe I listened to them one time when I was like 14 years old. People have always said that I look like Brody Dell, but the Distillers, I listen to real punk, ho. Real punk. But you talk about like female lead punk bands. F- was my shit. Blatz was my shit. I didn't even really go like Bikini Kill or anything like that because they were X-ray specs. They weren't like punk enough for me. Mommy, I've been having the hardest time growing my business. People seem to like my content, but I've not gotten one hit or inquiries on coaching. I gained 26 people on my newsletter list. Well, the truth is, hon, is you're just not there yet. You're just not there yet. I felt like I should be famous and in demand, and I just couldn't really accept that what I was teaching was vanilla. What I was teaching was vanilla. I really didn't start to stand out in the industry until my teachings got advanced. Like, because everyone was talking about spirituality. Did I support myself on a shit ton of trauma work? Yeah, for like fucking 5 years. And people still come to me on that. But your shit's vanilla, and that's okay. Just keep studying. But when you feel like it's not working, don't go external. How can I do more and more and more out there? Keep your posting, but fucking hit the books. Study until there is a force in you that nothing can destroy. Where in your life does it suck? Where in your life does it suck? People aren't paying attention to you as a teacher? All right, go study up. Go study more. Stop making content about the same old things. Recognize people just aren't really that interested in this. So I'm going to go study more, and I'm going to study more, study more. And we say, but mommy, you said that nothing gets successful. It's made successful. Can't I just stay tap dancing on my old catalog? Sure, you can try, but if you're a teacher 99% of the time, you're not studying as much as you need to be studying. So you learn something, you teach it, and then you repeat it. So you learn something, okay, I hit the books and I studied this, then you go teach it on social media, and then you go learn something again, and then you go teach it on social media, and you just keep going forever. I'm always working business, and I'm always working spirituality. In the beginning, you're gonna have to take turns because you need such a download of one and then the other, usually in the business department, but with time, you learn how to do both and. Yep. 14 followers on Spotify, whatever. But in the meantime, serve the shit out of those people that are there. Just talk right at the people that are there. Don't talk at who you think should be there. Talk exactly at the people that are there. And tell them, I feel like I should be blowing up as a teacher, but I'm not. I guess I have to hit the books again. This makes me feel like shit, but whatever. I'll never forget the first time that happened to me, but I really hit the books hard for like 3 months. when I came out the other side with new content, I got all types of new clients, money. But I just did one-on-one for a really long time because my group only took off when I was actually teaching stuff that was a bit more advanced. And not even necessarily more advanced, but also like more targeted. Like when I was like, this workshop will teach you about money. This workshop will teach you what all spiritual systems agree on. That was what I do. And I think it's so sweet that my first workshop, Spirituality 101, showing people, I didn't even know what a sage was back then, but I was doing my duty all the way back then, which was awakening by all manner of objective means and teaching people aggregated systems. I think it's very cute. How do I continue this growth on my social media as successfully as I have with them? Okay, I'm not going to answer. That was a continuation of the last one. How often should I be sending out email for a new newsletter? When you're doing launch emails, you can decide the cadence for it. I usually do every 2 to 3 days because I put a lot in my emails and people need a minute to digest them. People know that when they open my email, it's going to be big and there's going to be a lot in there. So they'll let it sit and they'll save it. Oh, hey, there you are right there. That's what I'm talking right at you. Hi. They'll save it for when it's a good time for them to really open it up and absorb it. And I love that for them. So like I said a little earlier in this Q&A, I email when I'm inspired about it, when I have something good. You're a manifesting generator, so you can do the same thing. But when it comes to writing launches, I set the automation to go like every 2 or 3 days. If I'm writing the automation as I go, which I've done with almost all of the products for their like maiden voyage, I try not to let more than 4 days go without sending another email because my launch window is 21 days. So I have to space story, pain, problem, consequence, story, process. 5 emails need to go out before the masterclass. So that usually is about 2 emails a week from me. So when you're inspired about it, do it and watch what happens. Sorry, I'm so snotty, you guys. I'm going to laugh so hard at all of these. As a 6'3" MG, I'm thinking of my intention. I'm looking for the question here. I also haven't posted. A part of me feels like I disappeared. How do I just come back up? Okay. So unfortunately, I can't respond to something that's not a question here. I wasn't able to easily find the question above in the post you put above. So I'm going to respond to this one here. So if you feel like you disappeared from social media, how do you come back up? Come back in swinging, baby. I'm learning a lot of new stuff and I want to share with you. Look at you two little funny people peeking in on me. You want some booba taikui? Taikui? Is that my baby? Is that my baby? Do we still have Magdalena?
We still have Magda, and now we have floor tiles too.
Oh my God, great. And groceries?
Yeah.
Sick.
And steak dinner, steak lunch, ready?
And steak up. You're amazing, Dad. You're amazing. You know what I think is my biggest turn on? Is competence. I love competence. I love seeing dads at the grocery store chill with all of their kids, and they're just calm and they're just unruffable, just like you, my love. What do you think? You want to be here with Mom? My name's Gooey, 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 Gooey. My name's Gooey, my name's Gooey. My name's Gooey, 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 Gooey. My name's Gooey, my name's Gooey. My name's Gooey, 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 Gooey. My name's Gooey, my name's Gooey. My name's Gooey, 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 Gooey. My name's Gooey, my name's Gooey. Put that titty in your mouth. Put that titty in your mouth. Put that titty in your mouth. Come here. Hi, my little love. Her new thing has been putting her entire fist in her mouth. And I heard Magic singing to her yesterday. I got my whole hand in my mouth. 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 Remember when we were playing with a noose and we sang a whole new hole? Our a noose play came to a rapid end because I had another baby. Bye bye butthole. Yeah, for real. What you talking about? What you talking about? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I like it when people tell me, this might be a good short here. I love it when I wear my Don't Bully Me, I'll Come shirt around my kids and people are like, how can you wear that shirt around my kids? I said, listen, you hoes just got on my case about my kids not reading yet. Now you want to get on my case about me having a shirt that says something dirty. You can get in trouble with me for one thing or the other, but I'm not getting in trouble for both. So decide what you're pissed about. My racy ass shirt that I'm coming to from your comment. Or my kids not reading. My kids, you know what though? I'm learning a lot about like, the concept of like literacy as well. And kids learn reading in stages, but like the first one is when they're making their letter sounds and trying to write things, even if the letters aren't right. Yeah, even just I'm learning so much about this. I've been studying quite a bit, but anyone curious about my kids reading, it's going very well. What do you think about my little baby here? What do you think about my little baby here? People say, oh my God, don't put your kids on social media because someone somewhere is jerking off to them. You need to recognize that you are thinking about people jerking off to kids and I'm not. So why are you thinking about people jerking off to kids so much? People say, oh my God, you know there's creeps on the internet. No, actually, I don't know that. I've had great experiences on the internet. You're being a creep on the internet. Oh, people sexualize children. Bitch, you're sexualizing children. Quit talking to me. Get out of here. Get out of here. Me and my friend Gooey, we gonna do our Q&A. Me and my friend Gooey. My cup of coffee this morning sucked, but now you know why I'm in a good mood? I took a hike this morning. Any tips on someone being stuck in a productivity loop? If they're not learning or being productive in their mind, they literally cannot find it interesting and switch off. They. Oh, okay, so you're talking about somebody else. Okay, well, today we're gonna be talking about you. It is not your job to rescue other people from productivity loops. If you've got a problem, you've got a problem. If somebody else has a problem and you can't deal with it, you've got a fucking boundary problem. This is all the world of second chakra. I don't give a shit about anybody stuck in a productivity loop. Oh my God, there's such bigger fish to fry. I got too many problems to think about rescuing others from a productivity loop. Who gives a shit? They're producing? Great, wonderful, good for them. What kind of problems do you have? Codependency is the first one on your list. We're going to go over, we're not going to like this, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to go to the workshop called Cracking Codependency. So I'm not singing to you to be, I'm not babying you here, by the way. I've just got my baby on my lap. But we're going to go watch the Cracking Codependency workshop, or at the very least, read the Spotty Stana chapter. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Yeah! You are my sweet little baby love. I'm having trouble seeing or knowing what my elephant in the room is. Cool, no problem. So I'm not checking elephants in the room right now, but you can ask a friend what would be the elephant in the room here. Someone pointed out my elephant in the room recently, but they were dead wrong about it. Now I'm sure I have a new elephant, but someone was like, it was a picture of me, and someone is like, I just have to know, like, where is your husband? I said, bitch, he's taking the picture. He's taking the picture. Where do you think I get these pictures from? Pure, send me that clip because I'm going to respond to somebody. I'll respond to that question sticker on Instagram. I know where it is. It's in the abyss somewhere. But yeah, I'm not checking elephants in the room right now. You just named it, emotional turmoil. Wonderful. So I see one. Where's the question here? I've been through years of it, perhaps stuck at shocks. Okay. So I cannot tell what the first question is, but what do you suggest to get cash flowing steadily? The day 3 of ritual. I'm sure you've done ritual already because we make almost everybody do it when they join. But day 3 of ritual, what's for sale? What's the goal? How many need to be sold to make that goal? And then just get to work on it every single time without fail. People hate to do it. But that's how we do it. Ooh, Lilith. I'm a back-end automation AI queen. Love it. Manifesting generator, midheaven Virgo. Sick. Is Elon Musk a Virgo? Wait, is Elon Musk a Virgo? Because I always say, if you can't tell if they're gay or not, they're a Virgo. And I know that Elon Musk has like 9 million baby mamas, but I cannot tell if he's gay or not. I swear to God. I think they're all decoys. But that's cool. Oh, midheaven Virgo? Oh, I don't even know what that is. Okay. I would love to be an online creator. I would love to be a coach. All right, so I don't really know what the question is here, but if you're curious about coaching or being a coach, yeah, you answered that question. If you're curious about coaching or being a coach, our teacher training wheels reinvented running right now, really good. But I don't know what the question is there. Hello. Hello. You are my precious little one, aren't you? And you look so much like your own babiness now. You know, when you were a little baby. Oh boy, here we go. My narcissistic reflector mom that I went no contact with. Oh, you know, it's very hard with reflectors because you could call a reflector, you know, a psychopath, a narcissist, like all of these things. The truth is, reflectors are just different people every day. Reflectors are so deeply weird, but really, really cool. My best advice for reflectors is to get around other reflectors, and I know it's hard, but like find them online for sure. Anyways, I really appreciate the shares here. If there's not a question, I can't respond to it. So do me a favor. If you have any follow-up question from this, question is a sentence that starts and it's a sentence that ends in a question mark. Just let me know. But I would definitely not be doing wheels method on anybody that doesn't want to do it. But at the Muladhara chakra, we talk about like dosing people. I wouldn't do deeper kind of coaching sessions. I would only use that first method. When was the first time you ever felt that way? And keep it light. But we're really not here to like coach our spouses and stuff. It just they don't want your help. I'm sorry, they don't need your help. They want your love. And love is accepting someone exactly the way that they are. For people that have endured trauma and stuff, they need to be allowed to come to their own healing modalities on their own terms. And they're really here it's a losing game wanting to do. I've not even done one trauma session on my husband this entire time. But you know what I did do? My husband said when we first met that he was thinking of going no contact with his mom. And back then I was on a crusade about like reintegrating my mom into my life. And he was right about his mom and he was right about my mom too. But I like insisted, I'm a teacher. I like insisted that he have to have contact. And after 7 years, we're both back to where we started. And I should have just fucking listened to him. Not just about his mom, but about my mom too. And that was the only time I coached my husband. What you looking at, my little haboobie? Oh, Pure, just a heads up. TikTok a lot of times doesn't show videos with baby in it. So if we're looking to, we don't have to take GUI out of anything, but maybe that's how we can organize who goes where. But the Instagram doesn't care. Any tips for someone to quit smoking weed? I've given up. You know what? You'll quit smoking weed when you're ready to quit smoking weed. If you've given up all medications and right now you're using weed, fucking do your thing, queen. I wouldn't have quit drinking if it wasn't for weed. Trust in your timing. The same way you knew it was time to give up medications, you'll know when it's time to give up weed. You are good. Good job. Be proud of yourself. Okay. I started Mesoterica. Can you suggest any supporting reading other than the Gurdjieff books? Well, if you want to learn fourth way, Gurdjieff's the guy to go to. But there are many different teachers. J.G. Bennett is a big one, his book Witness. You know, you might find that things open up for you a little bit more with people telling stories of Gurdjieff as opposed to like In Search of the Miraculous by P.D. Ouspensky is where a lot of people start. But I am writing an erotic, esoteric fiction about being seduced by Gurdjieff, which is clearly a work of fantasy that's going to piss off just about everybody. But for the people that it's for, it's like a sex magic / fourth way manual, but like literally all of the sex scenes that I'm writing in it are going to be things that you can try on yourself and you're going to be like, what the fuck, this is so cool. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, I've got one more question here, and then maybe we'll take a couple from the audience on Instagram. So if you guys want to get ready for that, because I've got my baby now, so I don't have to worry about my husband. Hi, mommy. I mentored all my classmates in massage school. I taught and teach the moment I understand, but while I'm learning, I notice I act like I don't know. I act like I need more guidance. I don't know how to get that part to stop the bullshit. Well, here's the thing. When you're in learning mode, it's okay to not know, because why would you learn something you know? Like, either go and get a stronger teacher, because I guarantee you, if you were mentoring all your classmates in massage school, you were probably like irritating the shit out of the teacher. It's really frustrating having a student that can't be taught, because you're like, why are you here? And it's not doing the thing that you think it's doing, where the teacher feels like threatened by you or something like that. It's just kind of annoying, because it's like, dude, you wasted your money. Like, I tried to coach all of my coaches because I was just somebody that couldn't be taught. And you have to come with an empty cup. They say in Zen, you have to come with an empty cup. And so if you are showing up at the buffet with a full plate of food, you're just wasting your money. It's like going to the doctor and lying about how you live your life. Like, why would you pay for the doctor if you're not going to be honest with them about what you're doing? You know, you might as well get your money's worth there. So maybe you need stronger teachers, but like, go, if you don't know, humility is understanding there's more to learn. You can't go to second level teachings without humility. Now, there is something more to learn. Is it in the massage department? If the answer to that is no, then don't go to massage school. Then don't go. But seek out mentors for things you don't know, and when it's time to learn, really learn. After that, you can turn around and teach it. All right, cool. I'm going to answer just a couple questions on, I'm so sneezy. Can you do the teacher training as your first time doing wheels? Absolutely. Come with an empty cup needs to be on a t-shirt. Yeah, but you know what would be cool is like if you had like, if you made like a Zen coffee shop, but I guess it would be like a Zen matcha shop, but you could call it like empty cup, and it could be like those macrobiotic restaurants where everyone does everything because they don't like Suen in New York, because the cook is not allowed to be stressed because it'll put stress into the food. So the whole restaurant is really peaceful, but anytime it starts getting stressful, like the cook is a server and the server is a cook, and they all kind of just like drift around a little bit. But you could have the whole like concept of the place be this really relaxing coffee shop where people actually could bring their own cup in, and every time we do, we're like extending that prayer of like coming with an empty cup, and the whole thing is like self-sustaining in that way. I wouldn't go to it because I don't drink tea. No matter how evolved I try to get, like I drink tea for like a whole year, and I even took Wuda, who's an amazing teacher, by the way. I took Wuda's course, The Art of Tea, and I was really trying my best. You know, I'm holding this tea in my hand. I got my special tea outfit. I was wearing like exclusively stuff from fucking Etsy and shit, and I was like trying so hard to be like, oh, I taste the nuance of this tea, homie. It all just tastes like hot water to me. And I just kept remembering this like Hunter S. Thompson joke in one of his books where he talked about, you know, creeping his neighbor out by dressing in a turban and offering him a cup of hot water on a really hot day. And meanwhile, I was like doing Kundalini yoga in New Mexico where it's hot as fuck, drinking hot water. And I was like, I think that my crude American palate just can't handle this. Because I would finally find the teas that I like, but they would just be the ones that were like roasted and toasted and like fruit petals and stuff in it. As far as telling one green tea from the next, I'm like, dude, I don't know. And every time I drink matcha, I feel like I'm gonna fucking throw up. And it's not because I'm getting like an energy rush or anything like that. But you know what's so funny is that I always see these fucking working out people that are all about breakfast first thing in the morning, and I kind of hear their voice in my head when I'm drinking my coffee in the morning like this, and they're like, coffee isn't food, and I'm like, exactly. I love my fucking coffee on an empty stomach. I'll drain my adrenals, honey. I don't care. But I don't want to hear a single person that doesn't have multiple kids talking about giving up coffee, because I'm loving coffee for this moment of my life. So what curriculum did I create first and why? Also, how does one begin promoting a new brand? So these are two questions, one answer. The first curriculum I created was the thing that I had most recently mastered. That was Breaking Broke. And that was because that was what the ritual used to be. It's had a lot of rework since then. But I was so irritated that nobody had put what all of the different money manifesting people agree on. And so, you know, you're trying to manifest money because you're broke as fuck, and you're reading books, which all take a really long time, and one book has one nugget and the other book has the other nugget, and then they're just repeating themselves all over the place, and you're stuck going through the sludge because you think the key might be on one of these pages. And I was like so irritated that it had taken me a year when really it only needed to take me like fucking 10 days and some discipline. So that was my first course. And then I really meant it. When I realized that I was at the bottom of the reading pile and I was only going to use like 1/10 of it, I was on social media and said, this is fucked up. This is fucked up that you have to look around for so long. This is what they all agree on. This is what they don't agree on. I'm just going to put this in one place. Let me know if you want to buy it. And that was just like it. So that seed launch, just talk about it online. Hi, we love you. We love you too. Okay, one more question and then I'm going to get. I'm reading Wheels and love it. Love it. Thank you. So happy for you. I spent the last 6 years of my life, this will be the last one I answer. I spent the last 6 years of my life building a successful yoga studio and brand, but I want to burn it all down. This is because the erotic has died in your business, and this is a rite of passage as a teacher. It's time for you to take that passive. The most classic way to take a yoga brand passive would be to offer online courses, except that it's going to take about 2 years to build it up. But within about 2 years, you should be able to leave it behind altogether. As far as getting through those 2 years and not burning it down because that's stupid, don't do it. Hello. How you doing? What's in your mouth? Spit out whatever's in your mouth and give it to me. What is it?
Meat.
Meat? What kind? Beef? I'll take it.
My mouth meat?
I asked Wiley at the park if she was cook me dinner, and she's like, beef? I said, yeah. She's like, I don't think so.
Want some?
Want some? Girl, perhaps. Are we going to go to the nursery today?
Want to see? We got some pieces to tie up around the house.
Dad, I'm fucking pizzazzed out here because I haven't forgotten your question, by the way. I'm fucking pizzazzed out here because I went on my hike today and now I'm all hyped up.
Yeah.
Then there was a lady wandering around the forest. She said, is there a wedding here today? And I said, oh boy. I said, I don't know. If so, you're the first person to arrive. I'm told there's a wedding here in 15 minutes. I said, oh my God, what is this? The marriage supper of the Lamb? You going for the rapture? Being taken up to be with Jesus? Baptized in the reservoir? Anyways, I'm busy talking to my friends.
Okay.
So if you're not going to do anything, there's time to lean, there's time to clean.
I'll come back later.
So I don't think that you've been working hard enough and that's the elephant in the room. We've only had to deal with tile deliveries, 4 children, 8 cats,
12 bags
dishes,
of groceries.
12 bags of groceries, 3 painters, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Did Tiger just poop?
Did Tiger just poop? I fucking hope so. Gave you something to do.
Do you want some beef? Do you want me to cut you up some, or are you gonna wait?
I'll have some beef when I come downstairs. But I'm not going to eat it right here on camera. I'd have to switch to OnlyFans for that, my porn.
Feed you with my toes.
Oh my God, you should try. Go get 1 piece of beef and just for the cat. Come on, go get 1 piece of beef and try and feed it to me with your toes. Honk if you guys would like to see Magic feed me a piece of beef with his toes. He doesn't wear shoes. His feet are disgusting. He's a man. Go get it. Come on, I'll do it. I'm serious. I'm for real. We'll put a towel down. I gotta hike before work every day. This will be great. We need to play the Who Can Say music. The like that wine glass thing. The Only Time Enya song. Okay, I'll get it. This will be great. Or should I put on the I'm Not Gay song that I played all this. The I'm Not Gay country song that I played for his whole workouts. I think we're gonna need to do the Only Time one for sure. Okay, let's see, reload page. Okay, let's see. Oh, but lady, I did tell you. So as far as how do you even deal with these last 2 years that you're gonna be doing at your business, you need to return to your white. That's your finger. Yeah. Okay, wait. Show them the beef. Okay, we've got rare. Okay. This is going to be great. While I'm talking, show them your feet.
You want to go the
Ask me about my family business.
toe with the cut on it or the non-cut?
I don't know. Are you ambidextrous on your feet?
The toenails are both pretty dirty.
Yeah, you're disgusting. This is
No.
great. We're going for a humiliation
Try
kink here.
not to get
You
my-
need to return to your why and ask yourself. You need to. Okay, wonderful. You need to ask yourself why you first started this yoga studio. Return to it. See if that why still lights you up. You want stronger teachings. You want to be able to pivot your business and everything like that. But hang on, I have to put my song on. My point.
Something on
Put
my
your
foot.
put your foot down. Put your foot down, sir. Zip up your pants. Sorry,
It's okay.
sorry, Tiger. Zip up your pants. Hang on, I gotta get my special. I gotta get my
Yeah.
porn. My Enya song.
Put your dick away when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
So you have child pornography on your phone.
Okay. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Have you seen this guy?
Oh, ad on YouTube. Have you seen this guy? Okay, let's try it again. Okay, ready?
Let's go.
All right, ready, guys? Okay.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time? And who can say if your love
And, yeah, you are not sure what to think.
Sucking
That's
on
okay.
someone's toes is called shrimping in the community, by the way, you guys.
I
So
wanted.
we call that a surf and turf.
It was my intuition to cut my toenails today, but I forgot the toenail clipper, so I would have really. I sort of wish my feet were prepared a little bit more for
All right.
this, whatever we call this.
Someone's trying to get me back to business. Mommy, I'm building my website right now. Girl, the beef hit the face. The
Being fed the beef by a foot.
got someone here. Shrimping is rad. Thank you from the community. Community. Someone named a target practice says goals. No shit, my homie. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. People are like, "What's it?" Send me that clip here for sure. People are like, "What's it like working with your husband?" What can we expect from erotic
Just cook
wealth?
steaks all day.
Trust me. Thank you guys so much. Can I join at any point in the year? Yeah, if you'd like to be a student and ask us questions, mommyonami.com/safehouse. The courses get more advanced as the year rolls on. So, yeah, but for sure. We onboard every student personally. Saraswati's going to drop somebody off who lost their enrollment thing.
Is that what she messaged yesterday?
I don't know, maybe Kai?
I did the C generator.
The C generator? Okay, this is a different generator. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Have a good day. Categorically shutting you guys down. That was so much fun. I got to go on a hike, seriously, every day. Yeah, Huz, right, my girl. Bye, Zoom. Thank you all so much.
Bye, Pierre.
Bye, Pure and Saraswati. Thank you guys so much for being here on this call, as always. See you later. See you later. Bye.